All right, so are you ready to dive into some serious Marvel magic today?
Yeah, always up for a little mystical mayhem.
Because today we're tackling a character with a past longer than, well, pretty much anyone in the Marvel Universe, Agatha Harkness. Where do we even begin with someone like that?
Well, we've got her Wikipedia entry, of course, and a whole bunch of YouTube deep dives, even some hardcore fan theories. People have been trying to figure this woman out for years.
And I'm guessing it's not exactly easy. What we do know is that she's a powerful witch, right?
Yeah, powerful doesn't even begin to cover it. We're talking about a woman who might have been alive when Atlantis was still above water.
Atlantis. Seriously, like that Atlantis.
One source even throws out a potential birth year just to make things more confusing.
All right, so what's the magic number? When was Agatha born?
1675. Wait a minute, 1675. As in right before the Salem witch trials. 1675.
Yep. Makes you wonder what she was up to back then, doesn't it?
You think she was one of the accused? Caught up in that whole witch hysteria.
Oh, she was definitely there. But not on the side you might expect.
Wait, you're telling me Agatha Harkness, the powerful witch, was on the side of the persecutors?
Let's just say she wasn't exactly burning any witch-hunting rule books. One source actually quotes her from that time, saying something about how the trials would make magic users stronger, thinning the herd for some big war with mankind, she called it.
Wow. Talk about a chilling thought.
Yeah, not exactly the warm and fuzzy mentor figure some people make her out to be, is she?
So was she always like this? Always power hungry,
Yeah.
even back then? It's complicated. You've got to remember, we're dealing with centuries of history here, maybe even millennia. There are bound to be some contradictions along the way. But speaking of contradictions, let's talk about Firestar for a second.
Firestar, like the mutant with the fire powers. What does she have to do with Agatha Harkness?
Well, one source details this whole encounter Firestar had with Agatha during the Salem witch trials.
Oh, right. Time travel.
Yeah.
Classic Marvel. So Firestar's just hanging out in Salem, and boom, she runs into Agatha Harkness. What happened? Did they team up?
Not quite. See, Firestar was horrified by what Agatha was doing, the whole approving of the witch trials thing, and they ended up fighting.
Wait, hold up. Firestar and Agatha Harkness went head-to-head? Who won?
Firestar, actually, managed to defeat Agatha.
Wow. There's a fun fact for the next trivia night. The time-traveling mutant who took down Agatha Harkness. So what happened after the fight? Did Agatha change her ways?
In a way. You see, Firestar, being the compassionate hero she is, managed to convince Agatha that there was a better way. Instead of fighting against humanity, Agatha could lead her people, protect them.
And that's how New Salem was born.
Exactly. They fled to the Colorado Mountains, created a hidden haven for magic users, away from the fear and persecution of the outside world.
Okay, so from witch trial sympathizer to leader of a secret magical community. Talk about a character arc. But if Agatha was all about laying low, how do we get from New Salem to, well, everything else she's done? I mean, she's practically raised some of the most powerful magic users in the Marvel Universe.
Well, that's where Agatha's story takes an interesting turn, because for a while she became a governess.
A governess. Agatha Harkness. Are we sure we're talking about the same person?
Oh, it's all there in the sources. She even looked after Franklin Richards for a time. You know, son of Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman.
Wait, Franklin Richards. That kid's practically a walking, talking Omega-level mutant. You're telling me Agatha Harkness was his babysitter?
More like his magical tutor. Remember, she's got centuries, maybe even millennia of experience under her belt. She recognized the kid's potential and helped him control his powers.
Okay, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. She's the ultimate magic teacher. But speaking of powerful magic users, we can't forget Agatha's most famous pupil, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch.
Ah, yes. Their relationship is complicated, to say the least, full of mentorship, manipulation, and ultimately tragedy.
Tragedy. Okay, now you have my attention. What happened between Agatha and the Scarlet Witch?
Well, the sources paint a bit of a murky picture, but it seems Agatha helped Wanda conceive her children.
Wait, you're saying Agatha used magic to help Wanda have kids?
It's not entirely clear how it happened, but those children tragically vanish. Taken by a demon, actually. Mephisto, to be precise.
Oh, man. That's rough, losing your kids like that. So what did Agatha do?
She did what she thought was best. To protect Wanda from further pain, she wiped her memory of the children entirely.
Whoa. Talk about tough love. But this is the Scarlet Witch we're talking about. You can't just erase her memories and expect her to be okay with it, right?
You're telling me. Eventually, Wanda remembers everything. The children, Agatha's actions, and let's just say, it doesn't end well for Agatha.
This is where she dies for the first time.
Yeah. First time. Oh, you're in for a wild ride. But yeah, Wanda, consumed by grief and rage, confronts Agatha. And, well, let's just say you don't mess with the Scarlet Witch and expect to walk away unscathed.
So Agatha dies.
Yeah.
But we know she doesn't stay dead for long. How does she come back? And not just once, but again and again.
Death in the Marvel Universe is rarely permanent, especially for someone like Agatha Harkness. But before we get into her multiple resurrections, there's another fascinating and slightly dysfunctional family dynamic we need to unpack. Agatha and her son, Nicholas Scratch.
Oh yeah, Nicholas Scratch and the Salem 7, Agatha's magically gifted grandchildren. Throw them into the mix and you've got a recipe for some serious magical drama.
You could say that. Remember how Agatha created New Salem as a haven for magic users? Well, Nicholas had other ideas.
Let me guess. Nicholas wasn't a fan of the whole peace and love thing Agatha had going on in New Salem.
Pretty much. He and his little gang of magical offspring, the Salem 7, they thought Agatha was going soft, betraying her own kind by cozying up to the outside world.
Talk about a slap in the face after she saves them from the witch trials, right?
Right. Total lack of gratitude. And things escalated pretty quickly. Full-blown coup d'etat.
They tried to overthrow her.
Oh, it gets worse. They decided to execute her by burning her at the stake.
Seriously, burning at the stake.
Ah.
Haven't they heard? Agatha Harkness does not stay dead.
You'd think they'd know better than to try that old trick. But it goes to show you, even with family, Agatha can't escape betrayal. But before we get into her multiple returns from the afterlife, there's something else we should talk about. Her involvement with the Daughters of Liberty.
Wait, the Daughters of Liberty. The secret society of powerful women throughout history.
One and only.
Wow, okay. That's a group I would love to eavesdrop on.
Yeah.
So what was Agatha's role in all of that?
Well, with her centuries of experience, her magical knowledge, she became a key member. Some sources even say she trained some of them, passed on her mystical skills.
So she was like their resident magic professor. That's kind of cool, actually.
It is interesting to see that side of her, right? The one
Yeah.
who wants to empower others.
Yeah, it's like she's constantly wrestling with these different sides of herself. But you mentioned multiple resurrections. What brings Agatha back from the dead? Not just once, but over and over again.
Well, her first resurrection is a bit of a mystery. The sources are vague on the details. But her second time coming back, it's directly tied to Wanda. To Wanda's biological mother, actually, Natalia Maximoff.
Hold on, I thought Wanda was raised by... Oh, right. Magneto. Classic Marvel family drama. But what does Wanda's mom have to do with Agatha coming back to life?
It's a bit of a wild ride. During this powerful magical ritual, Natalia, she sacrifices herself to restore the embodiment of witchcraft. And this act, somehow, it brings Agatha back.
Wow. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. Or the wrong place, depending on how you look at it.
It's almost like fate, isn't it? These two women, connected by circumstance and magic, their destinies intertwined.
Okay, so Agatha's back from the dead. Again,
Yeah.
did she take a vacation? Put her feet up?
Knowing Agatha, probably not. In fact, this resurrection, it comes with a side of premonition. Agatha has a vision, sees a horrifying future. Vision standing over the bodies of his Avengers teammates.
Vision. Like
Yeah.
murdering the Avengers. Vision.
Covered in blood, apparently. It's a pretty disturbing vision. And Agatha, she tries to stop it, warn the others. But, well, try convincing a bunch of superheroes that one of their own is going to turn on them. It's not an easy sell.
Yeah, good luck with that. So what did she do?
She had to do something drastic to get this vision, to know what she was up against. She sacrificed her familiar, Ebony.
Ebony. Her black cat.
Yeah.
The one that turns into a panther. She sacrificed her just to see a glimpse of the future.
It shows you how seriously she took this threat. But did it even matter? Did her vision come true?
Well, you said Vision did go bad, right?
He did, but it wasn't as simple as him just snapping and turning evil.
Mm-hmm.
Outside forces were at work manipulating him, twisting him into something he wasn't. It ultimately ended in tragedy.
So what was the point of the vision? Did Agatha trying to stop it just make things worse?
It's that old time travel paradox, isn't it? Sometimes trying to change the future is what causes it in the first place. But on a lighter note, there's a bit of good news for Agatha. Remember Ebony?
Or familiar, yeah. Poor thing.
She eventually returns. Seems even death can't separate a witch from her familiar for too long. And with Ebony back by her side, Agatha, she gets involved with a familiar group, the Daughters of Liberty.
Always finding her way back to those powerful ladies.
It does seem that way. But ever the restless spirit, Agatha eventually moves on to a new role, teacher at Strange Academy.
Strange Academy. So she's like the Professor McGonagall of the Marvel Universe.
Pretty much, except with a lot more baggage, probably. But there's another twist. Two of her students, Nico Minoru and Zoe Laveau,
Yeah.
they're descendants of her former coven sisters.
Oh, wow. Talk about a small world. So this whole incident from 15th century Transia with Karina and that demon, Veltor, that's all coming back into play now.
Exactly. It seems Karina, she eventually escaped from Valtor, but the experience, it changed her. Twisted her into something dark and vengeful. She became Corrosion.
Corrosion. Catchy. So Agatha's face-to-face with her former coven sister, who's now a supervillain. What are the odds?
Right. It's like destiny just loves throwing curveballs at Agatha Harkness. And of course, it's up to her, along with Nico and Zoe, to stop Corrosion.
So how does that all go down?
It's a whole thing. Big magical battle, explosions, the works, and surprisingly, the explosion has an unexpected side effect.
Let me guess. Another magical cat.
This time, it's Agatha who gets a makeover. The explosion, it reverts her back to her physical prime, turns her into a young woman again.
A young woman. Wow, let's talk about a blast from the past. So what does she do with her youthful glow-up?
Well, after laying low for a bit, she decides to go after a little something she's had her eye on, the Darkhold.
The Darkhold, the book of evil spells that everyone and their magical cat seems to want.
That's the one. And Agatha, she's convinced she needs its power to face some upcoming threat. Problem is, the original Darkhold, it's gone. Destroyed.
So what does she do? Download a digital copy?
She decides to recreate it.
Recreate the Darkhold. Is that even possible?
She's Agatha Harkness. Possible is just a matter of perspective. But it doesn't go exactly as planned. You see, even though the physical book was gone, its essence, its power, it still lingered. And Agatha's spell, it accidentally awakens that essence, brings it back in a very unexpected form.
Okay, now you have to tell me. What pops out of the magical oven? Another cat. A magical toaster.
The Darkhold returns as a teenage boy.
Of course it does. Only Agatha Harkness could accidentally give birth to the embodiment of dark magic.
And who does the teenage Darkhold see as his mommy dearest? Agatha, of course.
Well, that's a sitcom I would watch. So we've got Agatha rocking a younger look, raising the literal embodiment of dark magic. What could possibly go wrong?
It's only a matter of time before things get messy, but that's a story for another time, because we haven't even touched on Agatha's adventures in the MCU.
Oh, right. WandaVision. We finally get to see Agatha in all her glory, thanks to the amazing Catherine Hahn. And talk about a memorable entrance.
She completely steals the show. But before we get into her MCU shenanigans, we should probably start with WandaVision. You know, where we first meet her as Agnes, the nosy neighbor.
Oh, Agnes.
Yeah.
She was so delightfully shady. Always lurking, always listening.
Exactly. But she's not just some bored housewife, is she? She's drawn to Wanda's power, to her chaos magic, and she's not afraid to get her hands dirty to figure out what's going on.
So that's why she was messing around with Westview, of the sitcom reality and everything.
She was trying to understand the source of Wanda's powers, figure out how she was doing what she was doing.
So it's still got that manipulative streak in the MCU, I see. But is she a straight-up villain in this version?
It's not that black and white, is it? She's definitely an antagonist in WandaVision, but there are these hints of something more, like she's fascinated by Wanda, maybe even sees a bit of herself in her.
Interesting. And what about this upcoming Agatha Covenant Chaos show? Any clues about what we might see there?
Details are pretty hush-hush, but the title alone suggests a deep dive into Agatha's past. Maybe we'll see her time during the Salem witch trials explore her connections to other powerful witches.
I am so there. It's almost like we're looking at two different versions of the same person, right? Comic book Agatha, out there messing with dark magic, bringing back ancient evils. And then there's MCU Agatha, rewriting reality, stealing chaos magic. It's a lot, even for Agatha Harkness.
And the million-dollar question is, what's her endgame? What's she really after? Good? Evil? Or something in between is what makes her such a compelling character.
She's always one step ahead, that's for sure. But here's the thing that gets me. She's had countless chances to grab ultimate power, right?
Yeah.
Could have taken over New Salem, used Franklin Richards like a magical weapon, even gone full Darkhold herself. But she doesn't.
There's always something holding her back.
So what is it? What's stopping her from becoming the ultimate big bad? Is she trying to make up for her past? Or is it something else?
Maybe she's just playing the long game. A really long game.
Okay, now you've got me intrigued. What do you mean by that?
Think about it. She's lived through everything. Wars, empires crumbling. She's even looked into the face of a demon lord. She gets it. She understands that magic, real power. It's not something you just grab. It's something you have to guide, nurture.
So you're saying all these seemingly bad choices, all the manipulation, the betrayal, it's all part of some master plan to protect magic itself.
It's Agatha Harkness. With her, anything is possible. Remember, she saw the multiverse coming. Maybe she's been preparing for it all along.
And what better way to prepare than to understand every single side of it right? The good, the bad, even the parts that make you want to run and hide.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
she said, fine, if the multiverse is going to be this chaotic mess, I'm going to learn how to steer it.
Which brings us back to the MCU. If Agatha is calling the shots, what does that mean for Wanda? For the multiverse? I guess we'll have to wait and see what she's got up her sleeve in Agatha, Coven of Chaos.
One thing's for sure, we haven't seen the last of Agatha Harkness. Not even close.
That's our deep dive to the utterly fascinating, totally unpredictable world of Agatha Harkness. We've gone from ancient history to the Salem witch trials, from hidden cities to the far reaches of the multiverse, all with one question in mind. What is Agatha Harkness really up to? Let us know what you think, because in the world of magic, anything is possible. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.